Hey guys, we'll be starting in just a few minutes here. AR, why don't you say a few words?
Um,
Not
I'm
those
here.
words.
I'm tired. I don't have anything clever to say right now.
Dev, let's make sure they can hear you.
I can actually sleep in my own bed now, thanks to Bissell.
They used to have. Was Bissell the one where the slogan used to be like the quicker picker upper?
I think that's Bounty.
Fair enough. There were too many like half decent slogans from when we were growing up that I actually like vaguely remember, but not enough to care.
I
Someone has done.
understand entirely.
Someone may have fallen out of their chair or had their headset fall off.
Oh no, just adjusting the
Okay.
microphone.
Okay. Let's see. Still there, AR?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome to the Little Podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, run with Will, and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm AR Pulver, wondering why Espimon couldn't get blasted to smithereens in Ghost Game.
I'm DevQ, and I hope it suffers so much.
To be fair, it's kind of in the show that Digimon replaced. We joke about it, but it looks like a tiny human Espimon, same voice actor. Maybe they'll blow it up in a few weeks. And it wears a vital
Ah,
bracelet also.
that's nice. Haven't been paying attention.
I still need to watch that.
I'm not going to watch that.
I don't.
I just
It
literally
seems
know.
like something silly that I would
I just
enjoy.
know it's a tiny guy with blue hair. It has on whatever they're calling the vital bracelet. I think someone on Twitter said it's like the quantum chronosphere or something.
Oh, good lord.
It's the magical green watch. I don't remember the name. And it is our friend Koshiro doing the voice. Yeah. How has everybody's week been?
Been alright. Kind of busy.
Did you think we'd be here in chapter 1 wouldn't be done yet?
Is it not actually done?
No, they finally figured out when they put up chapter 1.8, they should actually say what's coming next. Now that there's a week between. So they've said next is chapter 1-9.
Oh, okay. Because that was a good place to stop the chapter if they wanted to. I was okay with that being a chapter end.
To be fair, there's been multiple places where with a web novel format you could technically make the chapters end wherever.
Almost.
There's a few,
Some of them don't really work.
oh, absolutely, but I'm saying there's a few places here where you could have said this is an end of chapter cliffhanger or hang on.
I mean, we'll get into it later, but the
Yeah.
way Chapter 1.8 works, it's a kind of a good, like it's more of
Yeah.
a little more of a cliffhanger
Yeah.
ending, or
How
at least a suspenseful moment, I should say.
yeah, before we jump to the Seekers, how has everybody's week been?
Yeah, it's been good. We took my kid to the Mario movie last week. It was entertaining.
I will probably wait for home video, probably.
That's totally fine.
You know what the weird thing is I was getting ready to be like, okay, I'm gonna start going to movies, and then all of a sudden in the last few months, they like started turboing most movies to home video in a way they didn't even when the pandemic was at the height.
Yeah, I think they started doing that for a while, and
Like,
then I think they realized that was killing movie
no,
theaters.
no, I'm saying they're doing it now more than
Yeah,
when the pandemic was there.
yeah.
Like,
No,
no,
they haven't really stopped, but they're still killing movie theaters.
but I mean it's quicker than the height of the pandemic even. Like Creed is already on home video. Dungeons and Dragons next month.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
I don't count Shazam 2 because that bombed so badly Warner's is just trying to deal with the bleeding. That's already out.
Oh,
Yeah,
Warner
but like
Brothers.
Creed 3 was out digitally like 3 or 4 weeks after it hit theaters. And that's actually was doing well. And people seem to like the new Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I've heard it was pretty popular,
And
but yeah, it was the first time I've gone to a movie since God of forever.
and
So it was at the same, like, it was like, oh yeah, this is what going to a movie's like, and then by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait for home video for everything.
that's where like I have not been jumping back to the theater because enough time passes, you go like, okay, seeing it on the big screen's nice, but I work on movies. I have a TV that I've set up properly for this. I don't have to deal with people yelling. Like
Yeah.
that's
I
probably that's where as we got nearer to the pandemic, I was getting more and more annoyed anyways. The people who go to the movie and like they like
Don't shut the fuck
their
up.
experience is like their unawareness that they're not part of the movie.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
I remember the first time I remember that really happening. It was years ago.
People got really comfortable with live commentary.
Yeah, but the first time I remember like it really being overboard was years ago. Did either of you see X-Men 3 in theaters?
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay, so I saw it in
Actually,
theaters.
I have never actually seen an X-Men movie.
You have most of them are not great, but some of them are good. 3 was not good, but 3 had different end credit scenes based on the theater you're at. And I had
I don't like
Huh.
that.
wait,
Oh, so like Clue.
yes.
I don't like. Yeah, I love Clue. I don't like
Here's
that.
here's the thing. When I say end credits, I mean like immaterial to the plot of the film, but hinting at what might happen next. So
Matter.
I saw the best one, the best end credit scene. I do not. Here's the thing: the movie's fucking terrible. So I've never seen X-Men 3 since then. People were so fucking loud at cheering. I don't actually know what Magneto said in the scene.
He said 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Because in X-Men 3, towards the end, he gets jabbed with like an anti-mutant vaccine, so he does not have powers anymore. So the end credit scene is him sitting in the park playing chess, which, if you haven't seen the X-Men movies, them playing chess is like a thing in the movies. And he's staring at the chess. Dev, are you okay?
Yes.
Which animal was it this time?
Nothing.
Something is clearly happening to you, Dev. We can hear something going on there.
Might just be my phone crapping out.
Okay. So, and he's looking at a chessboard that has metal pieces, and he looks at one of the chess pieces and he lifts his hand up, and the chess piece starts to wobble a bit. And he says something, but people are screaming so much from that reveal. I did not hear what he said, and the movie's so terrible, I've never tried to watch it again, despite owning it. Nor have I cared enough to actually check the scene on the discs.
Why did you buy it if it sucked that much?
Because I had all the X-Men movies at the time.
That's fair.
That doesn't answer your question.
Oh no, it does. No, Dev understands exactly the answer. Dev has shit that I know for a fact she has no interest in owning, and she just went, I already have the rest. I'm in too deep.
Yep.
Just like Seekers. We
Shoddy.
are.
Fucking idiot.
The main issue with Seekers, honestly, Chapter 1, as it probably should be, is filled with exposition, but it's so much stop and start, it really feels like it would have worked better if we'd gotten Chapter 1 at a single point, or maybe split into 2 or 3 pieces. Because it's so stop and start, it's kind of fucking annoying at this point.
It's a little hard to do that because it is kind of long and nothing is really unnecessary. It's just a lot of different scenes
No, I know.
and just they're not very interesting.
Yeah, like Chapter 3, or 1-3, when they're doing the whole digital world ecology part.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no one new is reading Seekers. I understand,
like,
If you're reading Seekers, you already know the base.
you generally know the deal. They're just kind of contextualizing the digital world into
you know what
this is what the digital world means to this, which isn't that different from Cyber Sleuth or anything.
Here's the main issue with 1-3, which it's reasonably solid for what it is. Getting the pseudo ecology world and some of the details about how they're going to make it public, I actually like. The issue is this gives me flashbacks to being dragged to the observatories as a kid.
A little bit.
And they throw you in the chair where they lean the chairs back. They do it dark. the world began billions of years ago. And then you get the explosion effects, and they're like, and then there's
Mr.
the ninth
And
planet, Pluto, and a picture of Pluto, the dog appears. Every
and Mr.
observatory does
Theater comes in to explain dinosaurs.
yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, so and it's basically the main point of this chunk. Lots of information. The main chunk is AG begins to figure out that there's more than it's not computer programs.
Yes. Which, again, this is Cyber Sleuth.
Yes.
Same territory. They add a couple extra flourishes with some modern day tech issues, but otherwise
Yes.
it's still Cyber
Yeah.
Sleuth.
1-4 continues that throughput and more
These two could have been combined for sure.
yes. And this one's explaining why those things didn't happen. And this is also where you get into the unnecessary isn't the right word, but the exposition where the characters they do the exposition, it's good, but it's also the scientist stops everyone from doing anything to explain everything, and the
Mhm.
explanation is just moved on from because someone needs to fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, there's just a lot. They throw a lot at you here, and we don't really need to know half of it right now. Like, this is all stuff that can be kind of filled in later in a more compelling way than
Or
having
at
to.
least like more
now,
organic.
when
Yeah,
I first read this, I made a mistake. I thought he had to find a Lugomon, and the linker was telling
So did
him what to
I.
find.
but no.
No, apparently the linker just always had a Lugomon in it.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that he was given the linker and like it had the information about what he was supposed to capture.
No,
That's
I
what I
got.
thought as well.
I got that right off. I figured
Yeah.
that right away. That's
Yeah.
well, my interpretation was the one it was.
And then he tries to hit on the secretary again.
Of course he does.
It's like, my God.
It seems to work better than the first time, but it still doesn't really work.
Well, it's like now he has some semblance of power and like he has some sort of
But
status.
she's not interested in him in the least. It's more just, oh, he actually isn't an idiot in her eyes.
That she thinks.
There's
Yeah, that
some
he is somehow an important person, which
yes.
is not doesn't make her look great
Look, I will
either.
say this. I said it last time, and some people took it too seriously as me giving like a serious theory. It's more just me joking how these stories go. I'm not saying he's evil. I'm saying I won't be shocked if he's evil.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not. I'm not.
Actually,
Feeling morally
hey,
ambiguous.
I'm not.
I
I'm
have
not.
I have questions about the girl, but
I'm not. Oh, I'm not.
Most
I think that would be a that would be a more fun twist
Yeah,
for me.
but to be clear, I'm not saying he's evil. I'm saying the kindly scientist who randomly has an interest in the main character and is giving him shit, but is also subtly suggesting that he better do what he's told, would not shock me if 6 months from now we get him going, coo, 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 coo.
Yeah, I can also that can be spun that way, or you find out.
With shadow Lugam.
Yeah, or you. I think it's more likely you find out that he's a well-intentioned person who's just made a lot of horrible mistakes and was
Oh,
the cause of half of the problems accidentally.
oh, very possible. Um,
I
then
would love it if Hatsune was secretly an agent of evil, though.
do you think she's going to
I was hoping she's secretly a Vocaloid.
do you think she's going to matter in any way at all?
She was named. That makes me think that yes.
To be fair, in light novels, a lot of characters are just named out of the sense of there's a conversation.
I don't know. They don't like to include tags about who's
Yeah.
saying what in this, so.
And then when we
they tend to be pretty sparing to make you suss out who's actually speaking in a given scene.
then when we start 5, we get the ecology report we all knew was coming, and hey, look, it's Espimon, just like AR wanted. And so this
It's
chapter,
only Ghost Game SPmon that's a problem. Otherwise, it looks fine.
yeah.
And it's
So
not like these guys are around long enough to annoy us.
this chapter was more exciting because it was a bit longer, which it felt kind of weird because of they have been pretty aggressive with ending the chapter segments. This one they kind of let go. I could have done without most of the beginning because that's where they don't do the story. They're just giving you an ecology report. And the problem is they've done this so many fucking times not necessarily in Seekers. I do not need to be stopped to have the digital world explained to me.
Yeah, they're trying to pretend that there's a new audience here.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
can't.
very self-aware like that.
Even if you get a new audience from them paying for the ads, this is not being released in a way that you will keep that audience. It's not interesting enough to non-fans to read for 5 minutes. For now, 5 minutes a day, but it's now going to be theoretically 5 minutes a week.
Woohoo.
Then chapter 6, man, they really do him having a beef bowl with egg, huh? This is where like he's like a sad. This is where like he's a sad sack loser, and they have to really remind us. That's what the main focus of this chapter
they're
is.
trying to go in a lot of different directions with AG here. He's an edgelord. He's a sad sack loser. He's a flirt. He gets really excited about the
Also,
linker thing. Like
he's
he's
not.
strangely
Poor little
enthusiastic.
So I just
Yeah.
noticed on in the picture he's not in a 3-mat room.
Nope. Noticed that too.
In fact, he's in a very heavy-duty, nice-sized room with what is clearly a bunk bed.
That was said. That was mentioned that he was in a loft. Or his bed was a loft. It was lofted.
Okay, fair enough. But the actual like room does not have the appearance of like the kind of cheap shit room they're describing.
I got the impression that what we see in that room that's like it.
Oh no,
Like that's
it
the
may
entire
be,
place.
but I'm saying that sort of stereotypical small room is very small, like even compared to this.
He's like the bastard child of Saitama and Denji.
And then Lugumon.
Puppy.
It's interesting. The first chapter with Lugumon actually as a character does not do anything.
No, Lucamon has been disappointingly inactive this entire time.
Like the very end of Lugumon, they suggest what will happen.
Like, well, they try to, humanize the Digimon characters. Like, oh, these are actual, they're alive, they're actual characters. They do that all in part 5 with Pulsemon especially, and a little bit with the Commandramon, I guess. And then it's weird that in 6 and 7, Lucamon is just this static image.
Yeah.
And that he's showing no real personality.
And then, so, okay, if 1-6 had been the end of the chapter, the beginning of 1-7, I would say, was a good jump. When it's the same chapter, I'm not sure it works as well, though. Where they just immediately jump to him being at the office.
So I disagree with that in the sense that there's no real hook in 1-6. Like, okay, he has a Lucamon. There's nothing interesting that happens
No.
in 1-6.
There's nothing that's interesting in it. I'm saying the thing at the end where they suggest what's about to happen with Lugumon and the Tyrannomons. If that had been a chapter ending, then how 1-7 begins as a chapter 2 might have fit better is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not as interesting as the hook at the end of 1-8. I think that hook works better, and
I'm not arguing that.
Since we don't get anything out of Lugumon.
No, that's what I'm saying. And
yeah,
weirdly, 1-7 stops again to tell us about the evolution forms again.
Yeah, it's a lot of repetition.
Yeah, it's weird because in the 5-minute burst, the repetition I don't mind so much. Thinking about it later, it drives me nuts. And part of that is probably the mood I'm in when I read them, which is I have just got it up. I have not cleaned up or am fully awake yet. And I just read it, I enjoy it, I write, then I move on. Think about
I
it
think that's
later.
the problem. Like I read 7 and 8 earlier tonight. Like I didn't look at 7 until like I was doing stuff this weekend.
Yeah.
I've been kind of stacking it and doing 2 at once, like after work.
And the crack team,
Same.
the crack team stuff, I'm not sure I care at all, to be honest.
I
It wants us to be very interested, like, oh, they're the evil, they're the hacking counterculture, and for some reason they're themed after police, and it's just like
yeah,
there was an idea here at some point. Here's the
it's
sorry,
it's
go ahead.
important. It's like okay, like it's more like they're giving us this information, and like we're gonna need to know this stuff. They haven't told us why it's interesting yet.
No.
I'm more interested, honestly, in the role that like Leon Judge plays. Like he's sort of the spanner in the works right now.
God, I
That's
forgot he was even there, to be honest.
yeah, like that sort of disruption to all of the exposition. That's like the wild card right now, and that's probably the most interesting part of chapter 1 is the Pulsemon.
I honestly forgot he had even shown up.
Yeah, but that's
Like
because we're giving
he is the most interesting part, but he's such a small part of it, and he's treated like a villain isn't the right word, but he's treated as like, remember at the beginning of 02 when shit's happening and you just see Ken standing there laughing?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's that, but without the defining of what it is so far. And then they go on to other shit that is not involved with that for the time being.
and I think that's why it interests me because all of this, okay, we have the crackers and we have the police who are going after the crackers, and then
Okay,
there are good crackers and bad
okay.
crackers, but then we have
You're saying the reason
this
it
other
interests
factor.
you're saying the reason
This
it
other
interests you,
factor.
if I understand, is they're spending so much time reiterating shit over and over that they've hung something out in front of us, then moved it away without repeating, makes it interesting because it seems like they've done something on purpose.
A little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit. Like this is the one thing they haven't talked about yet in this endless exposition.
Even though they stopped to do like 2 lines of exposition and then we haven't heard anything of it elsewhere.
I mean, the cop's really annoyed at him, so already that's a plus in my book.
True, but that's also where like it's just weird the way some stuff's framed. It really. See
I
the
mean, because especially like what you're
here's the problem. The way I want to describe it does not work because it's true. It feels like a trashy, low rent version of a light novel. And the problem with saying that is there's nothing wrong with that because those are fine to read. The problem is we can't. It would all. I don't know. The drip does not do benefit to this where things may make more sense, be more interesting if you could just sit and read something at a time without waiting or whatever.
I think what's dragging it down so much is that they're so non-committal about the ethics of this whole code cracking concept. Is like, oh, this kind of a dark underground thing, but they're not really bad. Some of them are kind of good, some of them are wacko, but then, AG wants to be he wants to be the very best, like no one ever was among the code crackers, and we're supposed to root for him for some reason, even though he doesn't really have any positive traits we're supposed to cheer for yet.
I love that the instant you said he wants to be, my brain went, I know what the fuck he's about to say.
Absolutely, because that's what
Yeah.
AG is a sad sack right now.
So here's the other issue with this, and it's something I didn't think of until maybe yesterday. You do realize what the intro to this basically is, right?
I can think of a lot of things.
Wait, I have to do one of my horrible voices. It's very serious, dark ghost game. The scientist has given him a tiny, cute Digimon that bites things, and we don't know anything about, even though it's around.
Does it bite things? I don't know.
They said that it almost ate one of the Tyrannomons.
I didn't get that. I just got that it made the Tyrannomon into its pack.
No, I thought it said that at one point it was going to try to bite one of them or something. Or
That's
tried.
different from actual biting.
I could have sworn it said. Wait,
We also don't know how it responds to chocolate. That's
okay,
important
no,
too.
it tried to eat one of them.
But anyway, there's just a lot of
Yes.
there's the scientist gives them. That's also the opening to Pokemon, like I
Yeah.
implied earlier.
And
Scientist gives the kid a
and we had a cameo from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I think what bugs me the most though, it feels like something interesting will actually happen, and I'm just like waiting for it every chapter.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And like I said, the hook at the end of chapter 8, like, okay, that's the direction we're going.
Yeah, except this weekend we get chapter 1-9 instead of 2.
Yeah, well, either way, like, okay, this is something I can wait a week for.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, okay, this is where AG's going next. This is a good place to stop.
Unless the next chapter then features Ryudamon, who only shows up 3 more times.
I mean, I'm fine with that too. I'm kind of interested in where I want to know more about this Tamahime, like, because she seems like to be the third main character. So
I don't even remember who you're talking about, to be honest.
The cop.
There's 2 cops.
I think Tamahime. Well, she's featured more prominently in the poster.
Oh, the serious one with the Karen haircut.
I have to look at which one you're talking about. But the one that actually appears, basically.
Yes.
The one that's actually in part 5 is.
I don't care about the names enough at this point to remember which is which.
It's not the one with the Karen haircut. I just checked.
Okay, it's the one with the hat.
It's the one with the hat. Yeah.
See, I thought the other one was more important because she's more front and center in most of the images, and she's in the trailer.
But she hasn't shown up yet.
They're not.
Tamahime's the one
no,
who's
but what I'm saying is they're not interesting enough at this point for me to know which is which. Like,
okay, I'm interested in the one that's actually appeared.
No, yeah, fair enough. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know who judges. I know who AG is. I know scientist guy. I don't remember anyone else at this point that we've seen images of. There's Cop Girl A, Cop Girl B, the 2 hacker guys from the Sons of Chaos, one of whom everyone keeps making jokes about how he looks like the revised design for Chris Redfield, which is true.
Read Unkei's translation. Tamahime definitely stands out at that.
Yeah. I literally, I do not remember which is which at this point.
Well, that's because Shu hasn't shown up yet.
I don't even remember who Shu is at this point.
Shu's Karen.
Okay, fair enough. See, that's how I have to describe them. One has a hat, one has the stereotypical Karen haircut.
Yeah.
With the hair flippy.
Karen hasn't appeared yet.
Although if you look at it on mobile, her face is completely covered up by the text box.
That's fantastic. Okay, so
Karen.
Chapter 1-9 is based on where you live, Sunday or Monday. And they kind of announced the fan art thing, because God bless them for doing the marketing thing of telling you nothing, but enough that the people who were already excited for it are like jumping for joy. Did you see the announcement? The fan art project will be held mid-April, and like illustrations will be the English is not so great. I will attempt to translate. You can submit illustrations starting in mid-April, including scenes from the chapters. And because this has actually been against the rules of a lot of their fan art stuff, they clarify, yes, it can be stuff you've already uploaded places. Because without
you just have to drop make everything like a cyan tinted because it's cyberpunk.
Without a prize, they're not going to be able to keep people from sharing.
No.
Yeah.
You were able to know at the illustration contest because there was a big fancy prize. For submit your fan art of Lugamon, they are not going to be able to keep people from doing it.
Yeah, so you can draw your scene of
Yeah.
Lugamon subduing the Tyrannomon and
Okay,
getting them to
here's what
subserve.
I demand from at least one person. You have to draw it as if Lugamon is John Wick, battling 3 Tyrannomon with gun fu, but without a gun.
Oh no, you need to do the Chris Pratt thing from Jurassic
Yes.
World.
No, because here's the thing: 1,000 people are going to do that, regardless.
I want to see one.
The instant
Show me the best.
the instant someone thinks of 3 dinosaurs, I guarantee you we're gonna see 50 of that fucking image.
I'm fine with that.
I also want to see
I
fan art. I also do want to see fan art of the Espimon getting vaporized. No reason.
But yeah, so that will start soon. Saying mid-April when they put this up on like April 6th or 7th.
It is mid-April.
Yeah. Just like, yeah. And then anniversary time. First up, the 3rd anniversary of Adventure 2020. And it is going to be weird that we're going to be talking about that again when the dub starts. Also, can they stop with fucking convention appearances where they're bringing out Zeno Robinson? It's not out yet. Did you see that convention panel from a couple days ago?
I didn't see. I
No.
didn't. Is there a recording of the actual panel, or is it just?
No, there isn't. But like I saw them like advertising the panel, the con. And it's like both generations of Thai in a Thai focused panel. The show has not. No one can watch what he's done yet. I want to hear Zeno Robinson pontificate about playing Thai after I have more than 10 seconds of him playing Thai.
Just cut audio lines from the Owl House and superimpose them over Adventure, and you'll be fine.
I want to hear him talk about Thai after I can hear him play Thai. Is my main feedback.
You're framed for a reference for Zeno Robinson's Owl House. That's interesting. Mine's still Pokemon Journeys. And Ladybug and Miraculous Ladybug starting in whatever season he took over. So
it's weird.
Look, I watched Miraculous Ladybug in French, so.
Oh, okay.
His voice blobs together for me, so I don't have a specific reference in my head for him. I know stuff he's been in, but there isn't one that stands out as like, okay, this is Zeno Robinson to me.
I mean, he really only has like one very like distinctive voice, but he's very good at it. It's very soothing.
That's why that's why I need to hear him as Thai first before I hear him talk about it. Because
I hear him as Go, and I'm like, no, I'm sold.
See, I want to wait because I want to hear how he does as Thai specifically, one voice or not. It's sort of like everyone says Bosch only has one voice. Every once in a while, you will hear him do something different. And I would like to see what Robinson does before they have him at panels about being Thai when we cannot hear it.
Bosch's Dracomon in Fusion, that's something people don't remember. That's a very different voice for him.
I still think the weirdest one is Renton in Eureka 7. Because
he's Renton, that's right.
Yes, because especially before the spin-off stuff where he gets older, he does something with his voice where he adds like some breathiness to it, and he sounds weirdly different, but while you can still tell it's Bosch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I haven't seen the dub of that, but all I'm thinking of is just like Lelouch, but after having huffed some helium.
That's not horribly wrong from a point of logic, I will say. So it's weird because like we're like, oh, it's the 3rd anniversary. This show's been off air for a year and a half, and any moment this could start up again.
I just feel old knowing it's 3 years old.
Yeah, I will say when I was writing, I'm like 3 years. That feels weird.
Like 21 years for Frontier, like, yep, that's how time works. 3 years for Adventure, like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, because that means think about it logically. That means in a couple years, it's going to be 5 years since that began. It feels like this was not yesterday, but like not that long ago. And 3 years is not short.
We were covering this weekly on the podcast.
Yeah.
The flow of time is cruel.
How long have I been doing this show? We've had this conversation. It's
yeah,
too long.
I believe before Part 5 came out. Like
Yeah.
right after Part
Yeah.
4 came out, in fact, I think.
I don't remember if it was Part 4, but it was definitely before Part 5.
Victor was still here for Part 4. I remember
Okay.
talking to him about it. So probably a month or two after Part 4 came out.
Yeah.
And then the 21st anniversary of Frontier, as AR mentioned, it's weird. Like this one logically makes perfect sense to me. Like, yeah, 21 years.
Yeah, that's like, yep.
Yeah, because last year was the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
This is the closest that America will get to liking Saint Seiya. This is as close as it gets.
And it's still not there yet.
Yeah, and God bless them, they're not going to stop making us try to like Saint Seiya either. They just will not stop. And next up, okay, I like the marketing for the D arc, where in Mon Memo they showed us the cards with a bit more information about them, and then they do a little promo video showing the evolution stuff to Crimson mode. And this is where, like, I don't remember if it was AR or Dev who mentioned, like, when I was talking about how they explained the crack stuff, how, like, that may have just sold one to, I think it was Dev.
Yes, they'd be like, oh
Yeah.
yes, I want the thing.
Yeah. Like, looking at the Dukemon Crimson stuff, watching them, like, it's not as exciting as the crack, but, like, this shows off Tamers really well. And I hope when they do part 2 or 3 of this preview, they show the crack thing, because I want to see that in motion with the audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it really does frame, because I think a lot of people still don't quite get what the complete selection animation thing is. It's not a raising toy, but it has enough energy to it. It's kind of cool, especially since they upgraded it a couple years ago.
It's a sexy, sexy prop.
Yes, but now they have little weird animations and stuff, which I fucking love. Honestly, it just looks so neat. I need to decide if I'm going to deal with an intermediary or keep playing the this closes in 2 weeks. Will Premium Bandai USA open pre-orders the day after?
I feel like they will.
I feel like they will too, but it's one of those where I got the one last time. I want this one. At some point, I have to decide, okay, it's going to be the last day. I need to coin flip, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much do you want to pay in shipping?
Well, that's why one really well-known U.S. toy store is actually just stocking it as a normal item. As in, they probably just buying every one they can, knowing they'll sell it. So there is no intermediary fees or anything. It's just the price is not low. So my brain keeps going, this could be. My brain keeps going, if they're just buying every one they can ahead of time, they might still have them for sale when pre-orders close. But also, it's $210, and I just go, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will see. I'm looking forward to the other previews of it, though, because that's a good preview, honestly. And then, are you ready for the... We've talked about some weird, inconsequential products. Are you ready for the most inconsequential product we've ever talked about?
Oh my, yes.
Oh, hyped.
A year ago, they did that first Digimon partner fan meeting where they were like, we're going to have fans talk to Kenji Watanabe and see if they can come up with an idea for a project. And they were like, they wanted to do a cafe, and we said no. But this other idea was to commission art for Digimon Memories, and they think they combined that with another idea, and here it's acrylic stands that can hold cards and photos, and it will come with some art, and fans can vote for which acrylic stand they want. The correct choice is B, by the way.
Like, neither of these look very Digimon.
Yeah, neither of those are interesting to me.
B is the more interesting of the two. Neither of them is great.
It's the most thematically appropriate. It's
so
not good.
No. B, I like better. A, I understand what it is. It's a terrible idea. A is themed after Digimon Partners itself.
Yeah, it's fucking ugly.
Yes. Remember,
like Digimon Partners a lot of the time.
You know, AR will remember this. Dev will remember when we joked about the people who were messaging me when Digimon Partners began. With the Will isn't gonna survive Digimon partners.
Oh yeah. Like we're shutting down immediately.
Yeah. Look, I can't beat acrylic stands, people. I'm too lazy to. I would say I'm too lazy, but there's no actual There's no like. If these were Digimon themed, I wouldn't have anything negative to say about them. But the only theming is it has the Agumon eye from the partner logo, and it has a bit of Digimoji on it. Now, my mind could be changed on these being terrible if the art has some relevance.
Yeah, but the art
Now
fucking sucks.
here's the thing. It comes with 5 things of art. I don't see how you can do those and not have it be Digimon themed. Because what do you do if not? Is it just gonna be someone standing in front of a computer and it has the partner logo? I don't know what you do with the art without it being Digimon themed. So we will see.
Like they could have gotten like a Digivice acrylic stand where the actual center of it is for a photo.
Oh wait, I forgot. Digimon Partner shows how many people voted on stuff. Are you guys ready for how many votes there have been?
Oh
Woohoo.
God.
105.
Oh my God.
It's just like the
Oh, it's so overwhelming.
the Offmon plush. Uh, and then we have cards. So a lot of these we've seen. We have the Agumon preview, and it has the little symbol there. And people finally, I thought everyone figured out what that symbol was. Apparently, people only figured it out today. It's from the female tamer in the Saturn game, the Sons of Chaos symbol.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought everyone realized. I love the little Espimon. That's the best Espimon's looked on a card.
This is the first time I'd noticed it. I didn't really pay attention.
No, I'm
I
talking about
love the
this.
little
I'm talking about the symbol from
bot
Seekers,
bomb.
not just on the card.
Oh, okay.
That skull symbol with that has like the gear around it.
Yeah, no, I know the symbol you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you mention the Toy Agumon dev?
Oh, I mentioned like the little Espimon's bot bomb that's like sneaking up with his
Yeah, I was gonna say
glass Agumon.
Agumon's about to have a bad day.
It's a suppository.
Then Tankmon. Someone point out that Tankmon, the visual here is from one of the game attacks from Tankmon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely like Digimon World 2.
Yeah. Horomon with the little Botamon sleeping. And I'm pretty sure this is like the same shot as in the Agumon image. It's just like way off from the.
Oh, yeah, you can see like the
It's
city in the background and the
Yeah.
agent
it's
spawn.
out of the danger zone.
Yes. Well, this is a smart Coromon.
Yeah, really.
Then War Greymon Ace. A nice selection of Digimon in the background that are hard to see, I will say. Like, there's at least 3. I think there's a 4th. I see Chaosdramon, Aegismon, Hyandramon. There
I
may be.
can't tell if that's like Ebamon or not.
I can't tell. Bakemon, the weird little one that's like Poyomon's like found its hero.
Like they're both adorable.
Yeah. Sunomon. I don't know why I like this image. I do. I don't know why though.
Because Tsunomon's in
Yeah.
it.
Then Metal
It's like,
Gru-
how do you get on top of that air conditioning unit?
and then I love the Metal Garurumon, and you can't tell it's a race.
Yep, they are both going zoom.
No, they're going zoom on a freeway.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell.
Okay, I see that
You
now.
can't tell because of where everything's positioned, but you can see like the. And the My brain's
Yeah,
frozen on the name for the metal bar thing.
Guardrail.
Guardrail.
Yeah, the guardrail. And it's weird because this reminds me of so many for some reason the visual reminds me of shit like F-Zero or Wipeout.
Actually, what came to mind was Sonic and Metal Sonic Racing.
Oh yeah, that. God, there's so many games that has a Sonic Metal Sonic race that is roughly on a freeway in a future city. Because I think that's also Sonic Mania, I believe. Isn't that where that is, where you're racing Metal Sonic?
I
It's
think
it's
so.
okay. It's Garfield Racing. Move on.
Which one? Because I own both.
The good one.
I need you to say that more like you're saying it with air quotes.
the the better one.
Yeah, that's Furious Racing or Furious Karting, whatever the hell. I actually played it with a friend, and we were done. Her reaction was, "It's not terrible, but it's not good," and that was roughly the
Why did
correct
you
reaction.
make me play this?
No, she went to go find her controller so she could try it with that instead of the keyboard to see if it got any better. It's one of those things where the game is not good. It is a middling kart racer that still was somehow better than half the ones that try, which is pathetic. Then we got better previews of the sleeves. We've pretty much talked about these. I like in the better resolution how nice the Lugumon one looks, although I cannot imagine it's going to look nice printed, to be honest. That needs to be like high gloss if that's going to look good
Yeah,
with the minimal coloring.
but I mean, they're a little glossy when they're card
Yeah.
backs.
Yeah. Um,
Until you actually play with them.
and then card battle,
I'm scared to do that with my sleeves.
Just get
understandable.
2 sets.
Yeah. Card battle begun a multi-episode event to find out which of them is the Digimon Card King, and they're all doing weird poses. 2 of them are doing cats. 2 of them are doing like we're friend poses, and then 2 of them are trying to be like
We're stoned.
no. Their look is clearly meant to be like threatening, but it mostly is
They're
stoned.
They're stoned.
they're AG.
Yes.
I imagine that being AG's expression throughout like 90% of
Yes.
Seekers.
And then we got the best look yet of the 3rd anniversary Magnamon card. They really need to work better on the anniversary stuff because the first year we got the Ghost Omegamon, and Omegamon was the logo for the first year. I don't think there was a 2nd anniversary logo, but we got the Alphamon card. And now 3rd anniversary they did an Alphamon logo, and the 3rd anniversary card is Magnamon. So if it is a ghost rare, which does it end up being? I guess who would you do if you've already done Omegamon Alphamon? It has to be like Dukemon or Magnamon, don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't know who else you would go. It's just gonna be an Agumon standing there.
Just do Royal Knights. No one cares.
No,
anymore.
wait.
Yeah.
I know who it would be for popularity and for resale. It will be Omegamon again.
I was gonna
I
say
thought you were gonna say
Dutchmon.
Estumon.
They put up recordings of their semifinals and finals of the. I wish they would come up with better than using the last year, because I think that just confuses people. It's the
Yeah.
2022 championship, which happened in March 2023. I know why it's 22. I think it throws people off, though. That's it for cards. And then we knew that we were sure this was going to happen. The Ichiban Kuji figures are coming out under the Ichiban Show branding in the US, and pre-orders are open. And I'm tempted. I have not done it yet, though, but I'm tempted.
I will definitely get at least one of them.
The small ones I kind of like. I'm not so sure how the texturing works with the bigger guys. It's intriguing, but I'm not really. It's not that like convincing.
The
I don't
price.
really like Yagumon.
My main issue is
Yagumon.
like I do occasionally grab an Ichiban Show figure, but I'm generally looking for me when I'm looking for them. I'm looking for it's an anime styled figure of a character I like, but there's not a lot of figures of. So I'm getting like the Dragon Ball ones, for example.
Mm.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
problem here is I have figures of all 4 of these, and I like the style. I'm not sure I like it enough for example, War Greymon being $70.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, are these all supposed to be a lot bigger than I thought they were for that
Oh,
price? And it's like, yeah.
the War Greymon's almost half a foot.
It's especially bad timing for this conversation because my spouse just got me a Shodo of Metal Garurumon. And it's like I just
My
got him up
my
on my
my
shelf.
my brain is like flashing back to what that looked like because that one I haven't seen in a while. That was the Adventure 2021, the Metal Garurumon. That was
He's a little
The
derpy,
the
but I
Shodo.
like
Yeah.
him.
yeah. I like all the Shotos that we've gotten, honestly.
Yeah, the Shodos are fine.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
of
they're
them
like
are
a
a
really good price for, what you're
yeah,
getting.
some of them are a bitch to put together,
Yeah,
but that's
for
how
some
Shodos work.
for some reason in my head, Metal Garurumon feels like a harder one to put together.
It is really hard. Yeah. That neck does not
Yeah,
go on well.
that's what I was thinking of because every Metal Garurumon figure they decide they want to do like a detailed neck,
Yeah.
and I imagine
Well, it's
that.
because it's articulated, so it's
Yeah,
all ball
no,
sockets.
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say then they always put the ball joint ones where you have to kind of push really hard and pop it into place.
Mm-hmm.
Try
And
not to
it's
break
also
it.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and it's also because you got to also keep them in there when you're putting the arms on, and the shoulder cannons are also separate pieces too.
Honestly, looking at the four of these, you know what honestly keeps me from jumping and buying it? It's that if I were to get them all, I would get all four, and I don't think I want all four. If it was just like the War Greymon, I think I would have ordered it up by now. Just like as a
Uh,
one-off stylized figure.
yeah, the only ones that would be tempted for me is Gabumon and Agumon.
Yeah, well, like when you split the price, they're like $18 each. So it's like, that's
I
it's actually
feel
pretty
Yeah,
decent.
I feel like the Agumon works better as a stylized figure, while Gabumon kind of looks a little too much like just a Kenji Watanabe drawing.
I'm actually
that's
fine with that.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, I'm okay with it, but I mean in the sense of they don't necessarily look like they fit together, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
I think
No,
it's
I
because
get
the
that.
fur. I think it's because the texture
Yeah,
with the fur just looks
the
like.
texture with the fur is actually accurate,
Yeah,
whereas
that.
every other surface
Yes,
on those does not.
exactly. That's the issue.
But I consider that a positive for
Yeah.
Gabumon.
And then it's poll time. Who's your favorite Digimon from the version 3? And people got very upset when I point out that this one was an obvious stacked one. And like, no, Kunamon's more popular than Patamon. And it's like, no,
Sure.
Some people must have got through the truthful ending and survive. Phew.
Yeah.
pointing out that this is an obvious stack one. Some people got really fucking upset. It's like, is that the one you want to jump on? That no, this is definitely accurate to how the brand works. That you want to try to argue that Kunamon's more popular than Patamon.
He is the best character in Survive.
See, if
Well, we know that.
if Edamon and Kunamon were dueling, I could have taken that with a grain of salt. Kunamon getting over 25% of the vote just makes me go, no.
Patamon's a sissy in Survive, just pointing that out.
I will say, the one that I'm 100% wrong on, and it cannot be explained to anything other than no one voted, I honestly thought Sukumon would have rated better.
That doesn't surprise me so much.
I would have assumed that Unimon and Dromogomon would have just rated a little worse, but
Yeah, those were higher than you would think.
And poor Shellmon.
That one's not surprising. No one cares about Shellmon.
And then,
Well, Shellmon's in Survive too, now that I think about it.
in fact, I think we saw that in an early promo or something.
Possibly, yeah.
I feel like we knew that one was there for a while.
That's Shakumon's
Yeah.
evolution.
And then from the weekend batch, not quite turboing through, but also not sitting long.
Lots of art, it's pretty.
Preview of Dreamers, Chapter 19. I'm like looking at the image, it's like, Man, he should have punched that Devimon.
I'm looking at that image going, God, I have to catch up on
Yeah.
this because
Uh,
this
and
wasn't that intense last I left
and
off.
then Naoki Akamine put up a lot of art. So the full process versions of the Taichi art, from sketch to line art to
Oh,
flat colors to detail.
I
I
love
think we've
these.
seen all 4 of the Taichi ones before, and I think they just uploaded them again because of what they were showing. Then
That's okay.
Yeah,
then all
I'm
4
fine with that.
then all 4 of Yamato. We definitely have not seen all 4 of these.
No, just
Yeah,
the first and
just
last.
a couple.
Yeah, and gorgeous. And then the first of a new one with Takaru and an egg. This one looks fucking amazing.
This is going to be great when it's finished.
I'm really looking.
Oh, it's adorable.
The detailed colors with effects are going to be crazy on this one.
Oh, yes.
I can just tell the way everything's framed.
Yeah, the one this gets when this gets to part 4, it's going to blow
Yeah,
your mind.
yeah, that's where exactly where I'm, because there's less random stuff that they have to detail, and
Mm-hmm.
it's more like the splendor. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. And then pillows. In Korea, they've done a whole line of Digimon Adventure pillows, hug pillows, and all those, and not the hug pillows that we can't show. Normal hug pillows, which look
Yes.
weird.
Love the face planting on the Koromon.
I,
That's
I
just
think the funniest of the body pillows we can see is the Gomamon one using that one piece of modern key art, where it's just Gomamon. I don't know why that image amuses me so much. And then China's getting something really cool. I saw someone sent this to me and I went, "Oh, that's fucking amazing." Because at first I thought it was 2 plushes. The pictures weren't in order when they were sent to me. So I'm like, "Oh, they're doing a neat Agumon plush and they're doing a Koromon pillow plush." And I'm like, "It's the same plush."
Mm.
Now, the Agumon's weird. It reminds me of that one like pastel series they did for the Crane games where they were really fluffy.
mm-hmm.
Yes, and they put like the blush on them.
Yeah, I don't like it. It was Agumon, Gabumon, and Tailmon, I think, were that series.
Mhm.
This really
Yeah.
reminds me of the material from that, where like it was really, you can like feel it if you just move your hand in midair. You can just, yeah.
Yes.
Koromon's blushing.
I want that just so I can mash my
Koromon's
face
blushing
into it.
because he's trying to hold his breath before he gets like shoved into the table. I
I would just keep this as Koromon all the time, honestly.
yeah.
Like
And
Agumon can
Yeah.
stay in his hole.
And they're decent size too. The Agumon form is 11 inches tall. Koromon is about 10 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And then over at the Toei Museum, they're showing off the various Digimon stuff, which at this point is Ghost Game and Frontier stuff, because they carry all the Annabirth stuff now. Then they opened a display corner for Ode to the Beginning, which it both looks amazing and is also very sad.
A little bit.
like, woohoo, here's these cutouts.
So here's what I feel like we're not seeing. It feels like to the right, there's like a 60-inch TV showing the trailer on loop.
You would hope so.
It feels like there is. And that's why
They're just sitting in the corner all alone.
yeah. And to be fair, I don't actually know where this. I call it a corner, but I don't know.
No, I want it to be a corner.
Now
The
here's the.
Forsaken
You know what I? You
Abyss.
know what I need to check? Is this the same standee that was at the U.S. event?
It kind of looks like
Oh,
it.
it might be.
I'm actually curious about that now. I not curious enough to check, but I'm curious. And then to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Frontier and the end of the 20th anniversary, I love the pseudo official chalk art the Toei Animation Museum does, and this is great for Frontier.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well done.
I will say Takuya's mouth looks way
Large.
more detailed than you need to do. You don't need 3 colors, but I appreciate the effort. They do some great work with these, honestly. I see some of the non-Digimon ones and I just go, wow, they look crazy. And it is time for questions, so go ahead and chat and throw those up as we go to the ones that were sent in ahead of time. First one was, what are shows we'd recommend that, in our opinion, you think are better written than Digimon? We've talked about the quality of Digimon in the past and used the phrase for Digimon in regards to quality. Makes them wonder what we wouldn't give that qualifier to.
So that's a tough one because, like, generally when, I'm saying it's like it's okay for Digimon, that's usually a qualifier that generally means all toyetic kids-oriented
Yeah,
Yeah.
shows. So, like, if you're
Like they have a
comparing,
certain demographic.
yeah,
They're
like
made
if
to
you're
do a specific
comparing any kind of a monster show or just anything for this age group, it's all kind of
yeah,
it's all kind of like it's okay for Digimon.
yeah. It's also weird in that, like, for example, I can name shows that I'm 100% sure written better, and I've never
Oh
watched
yeah.
and I have no, like, here's the thing. I have not watched Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. I have no plans to. I'm sure I'd
I've
like
watched
them.
enough. I mean, I've watched enough Breaking Bad to say it's really good.
No, but that's my point. Like, I'm
Yeah,
sure they're written better. I'm sure I'd like it. I just do not have the time or the inclination to care to watch them.
I will. I've seen plenty of Breaking Bad. I will assure you that it's
I,
it's written
I,
very
th-
well. Like
I,
that's.
I think it's time to bring out the old standby example. I'm sure that The Mentalist was still written well after me, AR, and everyone I know stopped watching it. I'm sure it stayed a
No,
well-written show.
I kept watching it.
Oh,
It's
did you
it's
actually watch it
meh.
to the end?
Yeah, it's meh. It's mid. It's extremely mid
It
after
was.
you
It
stopped
was
watching.
okay. It was definitely well written. About before the season where they dealt with Red John.
Um,
They
well,
start
but that's.
they
I mean, just listen. Like that's the if that's the bar that we're going to, that's totally not fair
no,
though,
exactly. That's
because
not what
those
the
are
shows
like
are.
extremely well produced Emmy nominated stuff. I
Yes.
don't know if The Mentalist ever got an Emmy nod, but Breaking Bad sure as hell
God, I
did.
can't.
Like that's the kind of
You know what?
that's the kind of stuff we're.
No, here's the issue. I'm gonna look it up, and it's gonna be like The Mentalist was nominated for like a music Emmy or something. It's not gonna
Yeah,
be
it'll be
nominated.
something like that.
It's not gonna be like awards and nominations.
Also, we have to be fair that Hunters got nominated for an Emmy too, so
Yeah.
an international Emmy.
Okay, The Mentalist was nominated for one quote unquote real Emmy.
Okay.
Simon Baker got a nomination once for Best
Okay.
Actor, and
Best actor.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's fine. But
So
like that's what's
yeah,
I mean, just like
basically that phrase means we're
basically
judging against.
basically our answer is what's written better than Digimon. Anything that is perceived to have
Yeah,
quality, like
yeah,
I think
and that's where you also fall into the trap. Just because we'd say it's written better doesn't mean we'd like it better.
that's also true.
Here's the thing. AR can say for a fact that he's heard me. We've talked about enough. He knows I like The Mentalist.
Mm-hmm.
I also did not last 5 episodes once the main plot ended, and that was it.
Yeah,
At that
I
point,
think
sorry, go ahead.
I think to kind of steer this back in, like if we're comparing this in terms of like shows that are okay for children,
Yeah,
like if we're going in that direction, I think I
man, the
could
animated
recommend.
series.
Like you have to
That's a
have
good
realistic
shout.
expectations for
Yeah,
what you're watching.
yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, like Avatar's a good. That's a pretty good shout. I think Avatar's first season is a little. Oh, it's just
The
okay,
first
but it
the,
gets really good at the
yeah,
end.
the first season is a better than average kid show. It is not
Yeah.
great. It's very
Hmm.
good for what it is, though. And then
Yeah.
the show begins to elevate.
Yeah. Gravity Falls, I think, is just bar none
Oh,
fantastic.
I love Gravity.
Yeah, that one I would just say straight up is written very well.
Gravity Falls is good writing because it's also easy to watch it and think about it in whatever your own terms are because of how it's put together.
Yeah,
Like
like
it,
it
like
can
it.
like there it certainly it works both episodically and
Yeah.
like it only work there are only a few episodes that have to be done
Yes.
like in serial order.
But most episodes you can even think of, say, it's a comedy or it's a drama
Hmm.
or it's both or it's
Yeah.
stupid or it's very clever. Whatever you're looking for, you will actually probably find it you will find horror there.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
It's
that's a
a
good
fun
thing.
and
There's good
satisfying
action in some spots.
Yes. But yeah, so it's more, what is Digimon? What is Digimon trying to be? And like it's weird because quality is a weirdly subjective thing person to person. It's also a case of It doesn't necessarily fit the three of us, but the example would be the person goes, I love steak. Steak is great. I want a burger. There's a argument. The argument is the steak is better. It's better meat. Blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter if that's not what you want.
I don't actually like hamburgers.
Well, that's why I said it won't necessarily apply to the three of us, but that's the quote unquote argument is a steak is a better meat.
Yeah, I mean, I do like steak, but yeah, I'm not always in the mood for
but
it.
But you know what I mean though.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if someone says it's an actual objective thing you can measure quality wise, and you can't always, but sometimes you can. We're not looking at Digimon for quote unquote award winning writing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see cute monsters beat the shit out of each other.
That's the thing is, like, if we're talking about, you know, that range of things, if we're talking, like I said, toyetic shows aimed at children, it's like, yeah, Digimon is pretty darn good compared to all of the rest of those. Like, I like Digimon more than, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yokai Watch.
Yeah.
I don't care about those shows, which is disappointing because my kid suddenly has decided to be obsessed with Yokai Watch, and
Digimon stands atop its genre, which is a very impressive thing.
Yeah.
And Ramon okay, did everyone get like a bug up their ass? Because I've seen this, not like question-wise, but I've seen like multiple people do videos on this the past week. Because like they don't have anything better to talk about. Since Ghost Game's over, is now the time for a V-Tamer anime? That's a very valid question. I'm just very bored of hearing about it because I swear I've seen 3 different videos of this in the past 2 days.
Oh god.
Yeah, but also we've been hearing about it for like the past 20 years.
Yeah, this is one where
here's the thing. We've talked about it. V-Tamer as a weekly anime as V-Tamer does not work. Period.
Yeah, V-Tamer as an anime does not work as well as an anime as fans think it would.
If you want V-Tamer the anime, you get 1 episode every 6 months. It's in 45 minutes to an hour long, and it's 1 per chapter. It will not be weekly adventure without it being something very different, which is not really what people want when they talk about a V-Tamer anime.
Yeah, it would almost have to be like maybe if you did it like as a series of OVAs, it could work. But I think that just introducing it with the concept of V-Pet battles is already a nonsense.
But is now the time? No. I think if you're going to do an OVA thing, it needs to be either something new or it needs to tie into something that's already there. Like you could
give Taichi a vital bracelet.
Don't say that because they'll fucking do that in 2 or 3 years, and then we're gonna see some jackass go, "I predicted it." No, you didn't.
And suddenly an Espimon's in the group.
And then Espimon's. And then will AR be doing any more poll things anytime soon?
I wasn't planning to. This is just an itch I had to scratch like every March.
I guessed that the answer was going to be no, but I chose not to comment until you said it.
The thing is, it's like I live for this kind of stuff. Like
Rest in fucking pieces, Taichi.
That's not guaranteed yet. It's still close enough. But like this is something that I've always wanted to do, and just like now that Tumblr has polls. But the fact is, it's like I had to make graphics and find headshots for 132 characters. That's not something I'm going to be able to do every year.
Yeah, I was gonna say the amount of time that people aren't seeing from that is probably immense.
It was very top heavy. Like it like I had to kill a weekend working on all the graphics and stuff. Actually updating it. The nice thing is because you lose half of the roster every round,
it goes quicker each time.
Yeah, like now when we're in the final 4 for both of them, it's a piece of cake. Like that takes me 15 minutes. That ain't nothing. But yeah, it was really
intense. You're not doing a round robin.
Yeah, God. But yeah, I'll plug this now. Yeah, the Digimon Top Tamer, which is on my Tumblr First Agent and my Twitter First Agent ARP, is now in the final 4 for video game and anime. Video game manga is Tamer Taichi versus Nokia and Takuma versus Aoi from Survive. The anime one is Taichi versus Ruki and Koshiro versus Takato. Both of those are very close.
But yeah, I think it was fun as a one-off. I don't think AR
Yeah.
wants me putting together multiple of these a year.
Absolutely not. Also, somebody on Tumblr, there's another account on Tumblr that's actually doing one for all of the child level Digimon that's actually kind of interesting.
Hmm.
So it's like I'm like someone else is kind
Yeah.
of covering that ground as well. So it's like I don't need to feel like doing it for Digimon.
Okay, this next one's a two-part. We're going to do the easier one first. What do we think Digimon for the Sons of Chaos will look like? I don't expect them to look any different.
They're going to be vaguely malicious Digimon, I assume.
Yeah, and then the
Watch it just be Ogremon and
Yeah, it's
Ogre.
going to be like, oh, this is a Devimon variant,
and the
something like
the
that.
second one was, what do we think the cop Digimon will look like? I thought they'd already told us it's going to be the
D Brigade.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's just going to be various members of D Brigade
and some new ones. But yeah, it's just going to be the D Brigade with their military-ish gear.
with the Carcadramon.
Yes.
Look, that's the best thing out of the Seekers so far is Cargo Dramon.
I'm disappointed we haven't seen it yet.
It's been in the video. It was in the video at least.
1-5 would have been a good place to throw that in there.
We
Just
demand
saying.
Cargo Dramon.
I mean, they could just throw AG out of it at some point.
I hate that you said that because now it's in my head that it will happen.
Let's hope.
Kind of hoping.
Okay, and then someone asked, "Are we looking forward to the new Zelda game?" Yes.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, of course.
That's only a month away, actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, the last trailer, like I'm not as big into the crafting vibe.
Neither am I, honestly.
That's not really my thing, but still, it's a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Of course, I'm excited for it.
I demand that they still let me have my motorcycle from the first game.
I just want to see the most fucked up shit that people can make to break the game.
Yeah, no kidding. I actually never. I didn't buy the DLC. My son, my 6-year-old, bought the DLC, so I haven't actually had the motorcycle yet.
Yeah, when you beat it, it's so fun.
Yeah, I ride the motorcycle. I can play the motorcycle in Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's great though. Do we think Sons of Chaos is a reference to Sons of Anarchy? No.
No.
I doubt it.
It's possible, but that's a pretty common word usage. Let's see. Have any of us noticed that the Seekers digital world being underwater is pretty much cyberpunk sponge? Is it underwater?
I don't think it was.
I thought it was just like this guy was like going through the net ocean to get there.
Yeah, I thought they were. I thought they were doing like the weird internet thing they do sometimes, where they say there's a layer above the digital world that is themed after water because it's the net.
Have you seen the art? Everything is blue tinted.
Yes. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I thought that was getting to the digital world, not there yet.
I mean, everything's pretty combustible in 1-5, so I don't think it's underwater.
If Dev could change one thing about Wikimon with a snap, what would improve it the most? And then any thoughts from me and AR about that?
You don't get to say with a snap you could remove half of it.
Damn.
I think Dev would say she'd remove half the staff.
Well, technically there's only like 3 staff. Just fighting against the hordes of stupidity. But with a snap, I would fill in every goddamn fucking chapter and episode summary.
Oh, that was my answer, actually.
Yeah, mine was actually going to be that it has turned into this weird version of, like a weird... Incard isn't the right
sadly,
thing.
I can't... sadly, I couldn't say it's TF Wiki, but Digimon themed.
No, that would be the ultimate answer, is actually having his... Because the real issue with Wikimon, all jokes aside, is there's not enough actual information to read. It sometimes turns into someone who likes the VPETs making a massive list of VPET things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I do love, having summaries of episodes and summaries of characters. That's one thing I still kind of use the fandom wiki for.
Oh, wait, no, I got bios. I got one. Are you ready, Dev? When people put up the image, actually sourcing where they got the image from.
You know that'll never happen.
Yeah.
It's like, if I didn't have to work full time and
half of Wikimon would be banned.
Then it would be sexier because I would have had time to like make all new banner art and everything. But I'm just like, I just spent like 10 hours dealing with customers. I have no energy to do anything.
Yeah, I know that feeling. And the
Yep.
next one was for me. I, it basically says I talk about Star Trek too much. I talk about how Next Generation, Deep Space Nine are my favorites, and I mention more things offhand from Deep Space Nine. But why do I always seem to recommend Next Generation? I think I've actually explained this before. It's that Next Generation's been remastered.
It's just the most accessible.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine could be more accessible if it were remastered, but even still, a lot of it's based off following Next Generation. But if you look at the video quality, there is an issue with getting people into it with that.
Yeah.
It is old, mastered on tape from the mid '90s. It does
I
not.
mean, if I was ever to give Star Trek a fair shot, I'd start with TNG.
No, and that would be the one to recommend because
Yeah.
it makes most things ended up growing from that, and because it's been remastered, it looks gorgeous. There is an issue with asking people to go, no, I know it doesn't look great, but it's good. And then you get like over the air 90s quality basically. It's an issue, and someday we'll need to fucking deal with that, and they won't. Yeah, but yes, Deep Space Nine and Voyager both stuck in that zone of they look bad enough quality wise video that it's hard to recommend them to start because you want people to stay. Last call for you guys in chat for questions because we only have a couple of someone to know. With the new Digimon movie coming up, they were wondering if the lead up would be coming back. I am certainly not going to be doing detailed stuff weekly. If I were to do something, it'd be like, hey, it's a recommendation of a show a month. Because one problem with doing it weekly and having done it so long, I've kind of run through the stuff you can find online easily.
But also, we're fucking busy.
Yeah, because one,
Yeah.
I would actually write up the stuff, and I would actually write up stuff that I can tell people what the content is, in the sense of, if you're not comfortable with this, maybe not the one for you to watch. A lot of stuff that would be easy to recommend now, I have not watched enough of it that I can say for myself what is the content, or even watched enough of it to do a proper write-up of it, even if it's a show I want to watch. Like, I definitely want to watch Witch from Mercury. I haven't. I couldn't say for sure what the content is. I know how season 1 ends.
I've never seen Gundam, and I want to watch Witch from Mercury.
Yeah, no, it looks.
Start with G Gundam.
G Gundam's a great place to start because it's very different, and it's why I'm looking forward to Witch from Mercury when I do start watching this. Is Gundam often gets in the rut of, it is new Gundam, it is war. War is sad. And it forgets that Gundam often would be fun and stupid. And G Gundam is really fun and stupid. Yeah. And then, with no big anniversary year, do you think Digimon keeps having pop-up shops and the other collaboration events? Zero
Yeah.
two.
They'll keep doing some 02 stuff.
Yeah, we have a movie coming out in half a year. Believe me, there's going to be plenty 02, and then at some point we will go, the virtual handoff between 02 and 02 the beginning has happened.
Drink these horrible concoctions.
Yeah. This is kind of a question we'll answer, but I don't think the answer is what they like. If we owned Wikimon, how do we get more people to join Wikimon to help make it better for all? Well, you have to remember, Dev's one of the admins. Dev does run it.
Dev does own Wikimon.
Yeah.
No, I don't, technically.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I was just the first person stupid enough to go, I was like, I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, here's the thing. Any wiki someone can clone and then make their own version of it based on the way, the data's licensed and Wikimon is licensed. It's not worth the effort to do. If you just said, okay, us three own Wikimon, we can do whatever we want, I wouldn't be doing shit there. I don't have the time or the energy. Dev already uses her time and energy, and AR, I cannot imagine AR's would stop and spend a bunch of time there click-clacking entries in. Like, if
Yeah,
like
there's no
I would
payout
love
for me
to
for
do
that.
that, but
Yeah.
I am so fucking
yeah,
tired.
like here's the thing: if there's a Digimon fan in the community who can add something to Wikimon, us running it, us owning it, does not preclude them from doing that now. If someone like can go, they're the right person to add to Wikimon, they can
It's
do
the
that right
same. I
now.
mean, it's the same concept of any wiki. Like,
Yeah,
if you have time and you want to
yeah,
contribute to this archive of information for fans, then please do so.
yeah.
Contribute. Like, that's my pitch: is
Look,
contribute to the
there's only one way.
contribute to the community. Like, even like I say, I don't have time for stuff, but if I see something that I know is factually wrong on Wikipedia and I have a spare 5 minutes and it's a quick edit, I will make a quick
There's
edit.
only one way to make Wikimon perfect, frankly, and I don't think any of us have the stomach for it. None of us are mentally prepared to kidnap Chris McFeely and force him to work.
Are you sure about that?
I've got a. I got a little bit of chloroform left over. I can.
You know, I thought you were gonna say rope, honestly. but
I'm not kinky enough for that.
But yeah, the issue is
Oh,
not
you
the issue is not owning Wikimon. It's people having time, energy, and effort, and also, and this isn't an aside against Dev or anyone in particular. You would then have to basically get an edit wars with people over how they want stuff formatted and how it's currently formatted.
And it also doesn't help, like, inconsistencies in the source material and
Yes.
the source material changing their fucking mind, like, every couple of years or months.
Loading up Wikimon and oh look, it says Orgmon again. Am I wrong? And the last time we looked it up, didn't you win that argument, Dev? And it was then Ogre.
I give up. I'm tired. People want it to be Orgymon. Let them have that.
That's what the rope's for.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, I know it was. Oh, I'm pretty sure when we talked a year or so ago and brought it up, it said Ogremon. I think. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that is it for questions. And then before we head off, we should probably go over what we think the show will be now that we realistically do not have weekly. We will not be doing weekly.
No.
I would expect every other week unless there is enough news by the beginning of the weekend to go, hey, we should probably do one. So
Yeah, or we're gonna be here for 3 hours the next time.
yeah, but yeah, so I would assume we will be here the 24th, not the 17th. We will see. There is going to be some news later this week, and sometimes when we know news is coming, Bandai will just go, fuck it, and just turbo news it us. So I'm expecting 2 weeks, but we'll see what Bandai decides to do when they announce the new dim cards.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
Yep.
yeah, so you can expect on an ongoing basis it will be every other week, unless enough stuff is popping up that makes me go, yeah, we better drain the tank because the one advantage to making the show go weekly, I think we figured out it. Me and AR are much more refreshed on a Monday night than we were early on Saturday.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, it was killing my Saturdays. Like, I
No, and
like to do stuff.
no, exactly. And that's why, like, for example,
You
Monday made
able to
sense.
do stuff
It's
on Saturdays?
we did
Yeah, we used to do stuff on
well
Saturdays. It
because
kind of it wasn't fun.
because there wasn't a weekly thing to do. So what it is, and May's in Australia.
Yep, that was a factor
So
too.
the idea was to try to schedule the show where it wouldn't kill May, but where me and AR are awake. So it ended up being roughly noon my time. So it was 2 in the afternoon for
2.
AR.
Yeah.
And
'Cause-
May, I believe, was waking up the next day.
Yeah, it was early. It was 7ish in the
Yeah.
morning or something
And
for
the
May.
way we would do the show then was it would be the drain the tank concept. Basically, we
Hmm.
would do a show every 2, 3, 4 weeks. Whenever there's so much news that we're just like, okay, we need to do it now, or else we're gonna have a 3-hour episode next week.
And it was exhausting.
And it has been much smooth because even the long shows now, except rare occasions, they rarely hit 2 hours.
Yeah.
and 2 hours is the long one. Before it would be we'd start at noon my time, and if we're lucky, we'd be done at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so doing it much easier since we moved it, and so yeah, the plan is every other week, and we will see how that goes. If they go nuts with news, we could very well end up here weekly. I don't expect that though.
It'll be sparingly.
Yeah.
I think I can hold off on not talking about 1-9 for a week.
Yeah, that's
I'll
yeah,
manage.
that's exactly my feeling. Uh, okay, one last question which popped up. Anything special happening this weekend for us all? From Jackie.
This weekend, not particularly. I'm going.
I think there's the Cherry Blossom Festival for my area.
I'm trying to think.
Hopefully, I can go to that.
Technically not special for this weekend, but the next day or two, I am going to start looking for a new bed and new bed frame.
I gotta work on. We were just talking about refreshing bedroom furniture.
Yeah. Well,
Captain
see,
Bed,
here's the thing.
Captain Bed.
Mine is like a really nice wood frame that belonged to grandparents, but every once in a while, I'll be hearing like that squeak that isn't quite right.
Well,
Yeah.
now our bed is okay, but we were talking about it before, and then we were having Easter with my family and realized that every other piece of bedroom furniture that we owned, like dressers and TV stands and stuff, is like at least 40 years old. It's like, oh yeah,
I mean,
we
usually
could
that's
probably.
actually pretty good because a lot of the newer stuff just like disintegrates in a
Yeah, it
year.
is.
Well, it's catching up. Age is catching up with this
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what's happening to the bed frame because the bed frame's like 30, 35 years.
Yeah, I'm on like my second or third bed
Yeah,
frame, but it's
yeah.
ours is holding up okay.
It's like I can tell things are starting to warp slightly because like the slats aren't staying in place as long as they used to. And it's hitting that point where I'm like, huh, I'm pretty sure the frame's starting to go, and I should probably get a new bed frame before it actually goes.
So yeah, Jackie, this is what special consists of when you're old.
Yeah. Um, there's a bunch of I have not had time to watch any of the Creeds, and now that all 3 are available, and I own 2 of them already, I want to watch them.
I'm still getting through Deno Coil. That's still a very cute show. Also for special, I'm going to a soccer game tomorrow.
Yeah.
U.S. Open Cup.
And
Catch the fever.
we're almost at the point where I can comfortably watch Witch on Mercury. Actually, season 2 has
There you
begun.
go.
Season 2 has begun. I just have to decide if I want to watch it subbed or dubbed.
Isn't it nice not having Digimon to watch?
You know, I was actually thinking about that. I love watching Digimon even when I'm not necessarily enjoying it a lot, but it does kind of become like the weird job of, okay, I need to plan it's going to be Saturday night. Am I going to eat before or after? I have to do that write up, which confuses the hell out of people as to how quickly I'm able to write it up. I will literally get emails or PMs from people on Withwill where they do not understand how I'm writing up so quickly. And you have to remember, I watch anime professionally, and normally I'm watching it so intently I can't write at all. So writing it and not having to worry about that shit, it is very easy for me to write at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It's actually, Jackie just mentioned Derek Stephen Prince. This is actually funny. I took a new convention job with Anime Milwaukee a couple weeks ago, and it was really, I posted it on Facebook, and it was the weirdest thing because I was expecting to get like likes from all my convention friends, and I was, but like the first 3 comments were weirdly informative of my life. The first comment was the current mayor of my city, the second comment was somebody running to replace her as mayor of my city, and the third comment was from Derek Stephen Prince. I'm like, what is happening here? He even sent me a PM. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, but no, yeah, we're all old, Jackie. We have weird weekend plans. It's not exciting.
Yep.
It's like me thinking, oh, what am I actually doing this weekend that's not like a flippant, like, oh, I'm going to look at furniture. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'll get a pizza or something. I don't know.
If I was off and the weather was fine, power washing.
And that's the other issue is If I'm working, I'm just gonna keep plowing through.
Oh, it was warm enough today that I played practice baseball with my kid.
Oh, that's nice.
Tossed him some balls to hit. That was nice.
Yeah, it's weird. We're not used to being done this early, so we're like having a nice, friendly conversation rather than being like, "Ugh, it's been so long. Let's get the fuck out of here."
I'm okay with that too, though.
No, I am also, but I mean, like, I'm not, it's not like looking at the clock where I can hear in both your voices, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, let's go. But we are hitting
Yeah,
the
it's
point of,
not like,
I
oh,
think,
literally, I dragged myself in from work. I
yes.
haven't eaten since like
yeah,
12 this
and I
afternoon.
think
Like, oh no,
that's
it's fine.
that's the perspective though of not having a Digimon series to cover. It is a
Yeah.
little more chill
Yeah.
now.
That is the one reason why I could see us going weekly based on how much news there is if there's enough news where it would be an hour long, I would say weekly just because it's a more breezy show to do it. But
Yeah,
I don't expect that is the thing.
yeah, I'm okay with every 2 weeks though.
Yeah, that's my expectation.
Like, yeah,
Oh,
as long as I get the DM, it's like, oh, here are the notes. Like, oh, there's a show tonight.
no, Jackie, you did not mention what the Gatchmon you brought is, but I imagine it was a tiny plushie. AR, what? Well, I know what you're gonna say, but what are
We
you
talked
doing,
about that
Digimon?
already.
Yeah, we already have.
Yeah, I will get back to answer. I did have some good questions come up on my Tumblr. I will be getting to those once this poll stuff wraps up.
Dev, what Wikimon article do you like people to read?
Hmm. How about Blimpmon, since we did Cargo Dramon last week?
Oh, and Jackie says, yeah, it was a Gatchmon plush. It was the big one.
I've got that one. It's nice.
That's yeah. Gat Atmon had some really nice plushes.
That Gatchmon plush is fantastic.
Yeah. I still, and it's we haven't seen it in a long time when pictures of the stores would randomly have that one Dokemon plush hidden in them.
Yes, I remember those.
Oh yeah,
In
I
fact,
have that one too.
am I wrong, or did we stop seeing that almost exactly when 2020 swapped to Ghost Game?
I think we've
Oh, I
seen it
don't know.
once, maybe.
Okay, you think we? Yeah. They haven't shown us much of those Fuji stores since Ghost Game began, frankly. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I can be found with the will as always. We will catch you guys probably in 2 weeks. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
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 Done.